Do you want me to tell you about the Saltburn?
Yeah, sure.
Yes, I do.
Let it rip.
Yeah, you cannot include this in the episode. I refuse. But the
Hey,
word,
we included.
You're
F,
0 for 2.
Mary,
I know.
kill,
Top you
okay?
say it's
Yeah.
not going to the
And
episode.
I embarrassed
it's been in
myself.
it.
okay, Saltburn.
Yeah, Mason's reputation's on the line.
There's a scene in Saltburn where he's busting it down sexual style with the sister, and she's like, "It's not that."
Wait, like the main dude.
Yeah.
Is it Barry?
Yeah, Barry Keegan.
Okay, because I don't know the character.
Yeah,
like,
Barry Keegan's the main guy, and he's busting it down sexual style with the sister just to get at the brother who
Jacob Elordi.
Yeah, Jacob Elordi,
Yeah.
who he likes, and she's like, "It's not that time of the month," and he goes, "Don't worry, I'm a vampire."
Oh, what the? That's staying in.
What? Oh, what?
No, that's a top 10. Yeah,
Top 10 moment.
That's literally like repercussions of the writer's strike manifested.
Yeah.
Like that's when you have a director trying to write lines.
bad.
He's
Yeah.
like, and we're gonna say he's a
We're gonna say-
vampire,
What
and
else
then
did
they're all
she-
gonna laugh.
What else did she direct? Because it's like her
This
second
shit
film,
is
I think.
a promising young woman.
That's what it was, like 2020, I think ish.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
was- I've heard that's like pretty good though.
Yeah, Saltburn's blowing up. I'm not crazy about it.
Yeah, it's always like. No, I haven't seen it, so I can't speak to this. But I feel like it's always the milquetoast art house films that blow up like mainstream. Like they always get the wrong ones. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Lighthouse is cool, but like, you know,
I mean, I don't want to seem like we're above anything, but
No,
yeah,
not at all, but,
you're-
like,
yeah,
just-
that's
Yeah,
kinda
I'm-
right.
out of the I mean, there's a lot that come out.
Like White Noise
I don't remember
ish.
that one.
I mean, that's bomb.
Yeah, I didn't really like White.
It's
White
like
Noise is not
it's like
good.
it's fine, but like people just like start going crazy for it and stuff. Like
I don't
I
know.
just-
Did the Green
the-
Knight get big or not? Because I kind of enjoy. I like.
I mean, it's
okay.
A24,
I
so
thought
it
was
kind
good.
of got big. Yeah, ish.
The Green Knight has its diehards.
Yeah,
I've seen him around.
But David Lowery, he's like actually a good director.
Yeah.
I don't like that movie that much, but he's like he's good.
Granted, I saw it before I started watching like a lot of better movies.
Yeah.
So maybe my opinion would change, but I would say that when I watched it, I enjoyed it.
That's like that's me with a lot of movies.
The one good thing about Saltburn is like the cinematography is done by Linus. I forget his last name, but he's done by Linus from
Bro,
Charlie
you should
Brown.
have said that. I've been watching Arrested Development, and the line that's been floating through my head for the last 2 weeks is, "What happened? Did a seal bite your Linus off?" It's like, no, it's like a seal didn't bite your Linus off, did it? And, like the character who says it,
Is it Will
like,
Arnett?
It's Buster. Oh no, sorry, played by Tony Hale.
Yeah.
And he's like
okay, Tony Hale.
32 and super sheltered. He's the youngest child. He was like, he still lives with his mom, and so like that's sort of a bit that he like doesn't really curse, so
Yeah.
he just says Linus.
That's pretty good.
I just think it's the funniest
That's
thing
it?
ever.
It was pretty funny.
Yeah.
But the cinematography was done by the guy who did the cinematography for La La Land and some David O. Russell movie.
Oh, okay.
But he's-
Amsterdam.
No, but
sure it's
because of that, it looks good. It looks good.
We should have watched Saltburn.
No,
We should
shouldn't have.
wait. We should do like, you know how there's like food and wine pairings. We should do like film and film pairings. So like Saltburn and Cars 2.
Yeah.
And then, like-
yeah. like a double feature.
Yeah, but it's like tastefully curated. It's not really
Yeah,
random.
yeah. No,
okay,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So that exists.
I mean, there are film curators that do
All right.
like double features and stuff.
Yeah, like 32
So-
sounds in. You hurt my feelings.
That's like, like Richard Linklater. He's like a film curist, like on the side,
Yeah.
because those guys know like
It'd
literally.
be a fun
every
pick.
movie
Okay,
ever.
well, as a quick warm up exercise, let's do a double feature curation.
Okay, yeah, that's a good idea. Just anything. No.
No
No
parameters.
I'm
No
thinking
parameters.
too.
No
I'm thinking
parameters.
too hard.
Okay. Time to get on Letterboxd per usual.
I'm gonna go Passion of the Christ and then Hereditary.
Okay, I can actually kind of see that. That's actually not that crazy. What is your reasoning for that? There.
Bible.
Oh goodness.
I'm gonna. I don't know.
Dude, I don't know either. Tenet, Uncut Gems.
That's gonna put you into a coma.
Yeah, that's the point. You're on the edge of your seat.
I'm gonna
the
go.
entire night.
I'm gonna go. The founder of the movie, Michael Keaton,
Yes,
and the favorite. They both start with the word the.
Oh my gosh.
We need to hop on that IP and just make a movie called The,
Ooh.
and have it just be a stinker.
There's so many movies in the universe.
Mhm.
In the universe.
I feel like there's a movie that's just called The.
Or we could just
Maybe.
like,
we might not be the first.
yeah, we could copyright the word the. Like if we make the movie about it,
Oh.
we try to copyright the word so every time someone uses it.
That's a really good idea.
There's
Wait,
like-
what's that? What? I feel like
There's
we
actually-
we had a case where we talked
Yes,
about
that's
like
illegal.
something.
There's actually
What was the word?
There's no movie called the.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Oh,
what
I
I'm
think
saying.
we're on an
Okay.
untapped
I
market.
stand corrected. No, there was a case like because that's illegal. You
And
can't.
then
like,
every time they use the article, I just used it.
Yeah, see, yeah, you
Get those
you
royalties,
can't
baby.
Copyright
Yes, you can.
a
That
word
we know.
like that.
Hey,
No, you
hey,
can't.
Mason.
No,
I'm
you can't.
going to.
Mason, that pessimistic attitude is not going to help us in court. The precedent doesn't
Hey.
exist
The-
yet.
I can call Wagner right now,
Yet.
and she will agree with me.
Yet.
I hope Deborah Wagner's listening to this. We love you. Everyone's like really confused now.
No, I got it. I understood.
Okay, good.
I was just,
You're just soaking in the moment.
oh yeah.
Okay,
I'm just gonna
we
give-
better get to it.
So we watched
give my guy
Lehen.
Saul a quick
Len.
call. Yeah.
Intro question mark.
Intro.
No,
Yeah, I
that's
don't
just,
know.
we're done. We're
Yeah.
far past that.
Okay. Yeah. Cool.
No more intro from here on out.
Guys, we did Lehen. We watched it, but we didn't do it. Yeah, so welcome back. So something that I realized that we don't do, that some podcasts do, is like formal introductions. And so if people don't know us, they're not going to know our names and they're not going to know who we are.
That's a good point. Yeah.
I'm Ethan.
I'm Mason.
I'm Jacob.
So you just take a mental note of all of our voices and then fill in the blanks as we go on. That doesn't make any sense. We're gonna
Fill in the
blanks. Fill in the blanks. Yeah.
There's a handout. There's a handout sheet in our bio for
Mhm.
this episode.
Cool. Like I mentioned previously, we watched Lehen. This has been on the docket for a minute. Mason watched this one.
January
Of
last year.
Oh,
So it's
2023.
It's been about a
I
year.
didn't realize. I
Yeah.
thought it was earlier.
I've seen it.
Okay.
I've seen it a few times since then. but
That's kind of
it's been
cool.
about
So
a
it's
year.
it's been in increments of like 6 months.
Yep.
Because you watched it in June or January. I watched it in June or July,
Yeah.
and then we just watched it. So it's like
Yeah.
been a
I
full
watched
year.
it 30 minutes ago.
Cool. So, yeah, cold reaction. We haven't really said anything about it.
No.
So
I mean, I know how y'all
I mean, we
feel.
know he knows how we feel too.
I mean, we could do one words. We can do. Oh yeah. So before that, yeah, I should preface by saying that this came highly recommended by both Mason and I. I don't know where you'd put it in your top whatever, but it's certainly.
technically it's number 8 in my
Okay,
top
yeah.
100. So that's quite hot. That is. The
And
highest
how
movie
many
we've done.
films are in that? Or like how many films have you logged?
How many films
Over
are in your top
1,000.
100?
Okay, so yeah, that's if you put a percentage on that,
It's top 1.
yeah.
Yeah, top 1%.
Mhm.
Just like the Tree of Life. We won't get into that.
We'll cut that part.
Stop it. Stop.
I can't even say the words.
Stop it.
All right,
Street
start the intro
note.
again. It's like the Red Scare.
Okay, are we?
If you say anything about Terrence
I love
Malick-
how it's just like a bit now. Like,
Yeah.
that's why I said that. I want to hear your thoughts, Jacob.
Yeah, Jacob.
Um,
Tell us your thoughts.
I loved it.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I'm feeling like the masterpiece feeling that I
Mhm.
am yet, but I'm
Okay.
sure that's a feeling that will soak in with time.
Mhm.
I didn't know that French people had their own Dazed and Confused. It was the Hangout movie.
Yeah.
At its
The
the hen over.
Hangover.
sure.
I thought it was great. I love movies that sort of commentate on the youth and the establishment and sort of the state of society ? I don't
Yeah.
know.
Mhm.
I just watched Do the Right Thing for the first time a few months ago, and comparisons in my mind were being drawn to that movie. I think Do the Right Thing may have been a little bit before this movie. maybe,
it was,
or
yeah.
around the
It's
around the
like
same
before.
time. But they both talk about a heavy subject like police brutality in a very nuanced and multifaceted way, and really take in all the accounts that lead to such a tragedy. And Do the Right Thing is more focused on that, but you can still see some of that in Haine with the different people's different perspectives on the matter and
Yeah,
their different upbringings and personalities and stuff.
for sure.
So, and same thing with Do the Right Thing. All the characters in Do the Right Thing, they have like overt parallels to people in real life,
Oh, okay.
but
I didn't know that.
but they're still great characters, and the same thing can be said for Haine. I think the characters in Haine are really funny. They're very youthful, full of energy. Not likable, but fun to watch at times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
So.
Nice.
I think that's interesting. That you I mean, I feel like everybody brings up the Do the Right Thing comparison. I haven't seen it yet. I need to see it, but I think what
Summertime.
Yeah, definitely. Or sooner, but summertime, yeah.
Yeah. Haine is like if Do the Right Thing took place in January, not June.
Yeah,
Cool.
it's tough.
Yeah.
It would be tough to watch Do the Right Thing right now. I don't
Okay.
feel like you would get
Gotcha.
its effect.
Yeah.
Right.
There's some movies like that.
But I think, the thing about Haine that like sticks out to me is that it's like equally about race and class, because like the second half of the movie when they go to Paris, like more affluent area, it's not just because Hubert is black and Said is Arab. It's because they're from a lower socioeconomic background, and like they're targeted because of that.
Yeah.
And you just see, and like at the end, there's sort of a modification on the man falling, sort of. I don't know if it's a poem or like.
You can call it.
I'm
poem.
not
Yeah,
sure.
we'll call it
Yeah.
a poem.
Yeah,
there's
There's
a
a lot of-
modification.
There's a lot of talk
they're, like,
about poems in this
There's
movie.
a man
not totally.
falling, and then Hubert like narrates and literally tells us that like there's a society that's falling. So it's about like wider structures.
I would say it's primarily about class.
Yeah.
Even that, like, that's because I feel like everyone's like, Haine's better, Do the Right Thing's better. They're both equally good, and they're not really about the same thing in my eyes. They're kind of different. I don't know if you get that, Jacob. I mean, obviously there's some similarities. There's like police brutality, stuff like that, but I think like
Well, Do the Right Thing is like a distinctly American issue movie.
exactly.
So
And yeah, I would say definitely the class stuff kind of dominates the movie and how it's framed and everything.
yeah.
For me, I'd say this. I mean, I believe in diminishing returns, so this didn't hit quite as hard as the first time. I'm kind of hard pressed to think of like movie going experiences when I've enjoyed something more, I usually enjoy it less. So that's not. I don't think that takes away anything from this. But I think between the ending and just there's not a ton of shock value throughout it besides the ending, but like knowing what's going to happen does have sort of an effect on your rewatch value. That
Yeah,
said,
of
it's
course.
still a fantastic rewatch, and there's so much to dive into and examine that's probably going to go way over your head upon a first watch.
I mean, the whole narrative is like kind of framed around like a ticking clock and this kind of propulsive nature. So I mean, yeah, like the second time I watched it, it didn't hit me as hard either. But I still think like I don't think that takes away like it's kind of masterpiece status for me. But yeah, I mean, it's still like it's still amazing, and even just the effect of the movie and like kind of what it's saying is obviously still prevalent today, just everywhere. You know what I mean? So I don't think it's lost any of its value.
Absolutely. I mean, I think that's one of the biggest things that I thought is that even though they're like stylistic choices that date itself. Like, I know this definitely got Jacob when we're first introduced to Hubert's character, and he's in the boxing when he's punching the punching bag, and then it like pans to his flyer, and then it sort of like lights up.
Yeah, it lights up his name. It's like
I was
Hubert.
like, oh,
Yeah.
it was made in the 90s.
It's like he got introduced in Smash.
Yeah, seriously, yeah. So there's that kind of stuff, but I do think the nature of...
I feel like it's 90s in a good way.
It's 90s in a good way, but I also
just
think
very
it's equally
stylized.
timeless.
Yeah.
Timeless,
It's very stylized, and with that, you're going to get some of the kind of time periodness of it. But that's how he wanted to tell a story, and I think that's the best way to tell it. You know what I mean?
For sure.
I love the stylized stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the stylistic choices are arguably its strongest characteristic.
I actually think it's one of the rare movies where it's equally strong narrative and technically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's like amazing on both fronts. You know what I mean? Like there's not much that I can think of that's wrong with the movie. So.
And I mean, it really is. It's interesting because like it feels so fast-paced. At least I remembered it being fast-paced after my first viewing. Watching it now, I realize how much of it is just conversation. Yeah. It's a lot of just, like Jacob said, it's dazed and confused dudes just hanging out, you know?
Right.
It's set like it's very realistic, and it's kind of
it was
surrounded by realism.
I was almost going to say it was almost verite-esque in the way that it's shot, and like it feels like a documentary. Almost.
Yeah, I think it's meant to. The director, I don't know how to say his name. Kassovitz, I think that's how you say his name. He was gonna make another movie, and basically what happened in the movie happened, like in real life.
Oh, really?
And he started writing the script the next day. So I think that's where the kind of verite style comes from, and but that's the interesting thing. It's very set in realism, but you get the kind of stylistic.
It's very in the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. It's weird to say, but I felt there.
Yeah, no, it feels like stream of consciousness in that.
Yeah,
you can
feel the emotions.
Yeah,
that
you feel
has,
feel the emotion.
into
like
the
emotion's really palpable. Like from the get go, you'd feel the anger.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like
yeah. And that like, I think the duality of sort of not ideals, but the ways in which Hubert and Vince approach combating like police brutality and injustice is really interesting, because Vince wants to fight head on, but the way he approaches it is almost for himself. It's not really righteous, and it's often to his detriment. He's just a naturally reckless person. And then Hubert, while you could probably say maybe he's more virtuistic, you could also argue that he was too passive, and that, you know, his approach would perpetuate the system that he lives in because he hasn't done anything about it. But I think Hubert especially is such a tragic character, because you can tell he's easily like the brightest out of the three of his friends, and he's got a good head on his shoulders, and he mentions multiple times that he just wants to get out. Mm-hmm. But, you know,
it's like crabs in a bucket.
You can't.
Yeah, exactly.
They can't escape. That's why I think it's more about like class.
And that's why it reminded me of Trainspotting.
Yeah, I mean that's
because
you get
the
pulled
world
down
to the lowest.
Well, yeah, I mean there's the world is yours, and there's like you get these like drone shots of the city, and it's like they're just very encapsulated. And we talked about the kind of dolly zoom shot that exactly splits the movie in half, and how everything
bisects the movie.
Yeah, everything in like actual Paris, in the actual city, is very very close up. Everything's shot really close up, and you just kind of feel that
proximity.
like, claustrophobic kind of feeling.
I also think Mason and I watched Trainspotting, not together, but recently. And what that movie made me think of, that Haine sort of put into my mind first, was almost the notion of predestination as it pertains to society and the people who you're surrounded with. In both of those films, it almost feels like our main characters are condemned to a certain fate before the film even begins.
As soon as Vin's finds the gun, it's over. That's Chekhov's gun. I don't know if y'all know about that, but I mean that's like.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
It's whose gun?
Chekhov's. It's like a. It's a framing
is that their
thing.
Friend?
It's no. It's like a technique, like in film, like where if you see a gun in the first act,
I feel stupid.
It has to be used in the third.
Oh
act.
yeah.
It's that thing, and I feel like as soon as you see like him pick up the gun, and then like he puts it down, then he goes back and gets it. It's like he's done for. You know what I mean? Like
that's the thing. Especially when he hands it to Hubert, it's like him relinquishing. Like it's almost like we see Vince grow.
That's the kind of the power. That's the symbolism of power.
And that he's
handing that over.
Yeah,
it was interesting seeing his like emotional turmoil throughout the movie as he is really about to pull the trigger, and then other times
he never is going to do it though.
He's never going to do it, but like you can like see like when he wants to do it and when he's like, because he sees a couple things in the movie that like sort of haunt him.
But I think so much of he wants to be part of the riots and he wants to be part of the revolution, but I think so much of it is like self-aggrandizing.
Yeah,
like it's
just a facade, kind of like to kind of display.
He's just angry, and I think a lot of it.
He's angry
like
more so about like his circumstances.
Yeah, it's not really about like injustice.
You can tell like deep down he wouldn't. It's
not in the right place.
I mean that's.
And I think Saeed is such a good foil to both of them, and he really. I mean, really, he's us. He's the audience. He never really takes a stance. Aside from when he like goes with Vince, when Hubert walks away, when Vince and Hubert have their fight, he leaves with Vince. So it's sort of like him taking a side, but Hubert actually pushes him away. So we never really see him take a stance. And even at the end, he's watching. He's watching what happens between Hubert and the policeman who kills.
He's just us.
Vince. Yeah.
And I love that. That's after the kind of prologue.
Credit sequence or the
the beginning, the found footage stuff is that it's him and you hear a gunshot and that's kind of like it's
cyclical almost.
It's all like repetition and it's all
I was gonna say the main characters in this movie, like, and how they work off each other, reminded me of how like the Sal family, like Sal's Pizzeria and Do the Right Thing.
Oh yeah,
how they play off each other, like it's kind of similar.
They all kind of stand for a certain thing, and they're all. I mean, it's all kind of like narratively structured, but it's just so well done that it's just like, this is like amazing.
Yeah, it's great. I also think it was super interesting. Like the first time that I saw it, the thing that struck me was like how much Black American culture like set precedent for what was cool internationally, because they were listening to like Zapp and Roger, they were listening to the Gap Band, like Outstanding. Everybody was wearing like what's the boxing brand? Is it Everlast?
Everlast.
Everlast from like the Bronx. It was like all about New York, and it was just, I don't know. I guess I didn't realize like the scale of what like 80s and 90s Black culture was beyond just like the West, as in like North America.
Yeah, I mean this is around the time of East Coast hip hop on the rise, and so they're like listening to that and stuff. So they're getting all of it. That's when it's all popping off,
Yeah, but it was super neat. I mean, there's so much like personality in this film. It's just, it oozes charisma, I'd say.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, it's a stunning watch. For sure.
Yeah, I think one of the, if we just want to move to something else, I think one of the best scenes ever is the bathroom scene.
I haven't been able to stop thinking about that.
No, that's probably the best scene in the movie.
No, it's definitely the best scene in the movie. I mean, it's one of the best scenes of all time.
I think so. Yeah.
I agree. I could agree with that.
It's definitely up there. The way that it's shot, the kind of
parable.
Parable being a symbol for those characters and like their escape, and he's talking about how his friend wasn't able to catch the train, and then a little bit later we see
they literally aren't able to catch the train.
They can't escape. They can't like catch the train and escape, and
that's a train home, but it's
I know, but I mean like
of course
that's the symbol. And I love how like in that like when that character gives a monologue, he gets the whole frame because that's like he's kind of, you can tell that he's kind of upper class, and that like the blocking the director like separates them and kind of gives that distinction.
Really?
I think
Interesting.
it's really good. And also when he first walks out of the stall, he splits Vince and Hubert.
I had
and
I
he
see you, so keep going.
Oh, okay.
Full slate.
Oh, okay. The man walks out of the stall and he splits Vince and Hubert, and that's kind of like he's splitting up their argument and the framing of that.
I noticed that, but that wasn't like the correlation didn't really hit me until now when you said that. It was cool.
Yeah, it's definitely taken me some like multiple viewings to kind of get all of the symbolism and everything.
It's a big one.
But that's the weird thing. We've talked about, me and Ethan have talked about the director, and it's just kind of weird. This kind of stands alone.
It's a one-hit wonder,
in his
almost.
filmography, which I didn't realize. I was looking at his Letterboxd. He's actually an actor. I think he started out as an actor.
Okay.
Yeah, he was in The Fifth Element.
He was in the new Spider-Verse.
Yeah. He did additional voicings for... He's just listed as additional voicings, but he's in Amelie. He's in The Fifth Element, which is...
That's crazy.
Interesting. But that, I mean, like, when you watch this and you see all the things that... How it's directed, how it's framed, the lighting, you're like, dude, this is an amazing director.
It's
beautiful. He is up there with like the greats.
Yeah.
Like and then like you look at his
dolly shot on the car.
Yeah.
There's
crazy.
So many stunning visual moments, and
just there's like technically and narratively there's so much there.
Yeah.
And it's very weird that like he just hasn't really done anything of note since.
He was feeling it. He's feeling the emotion.
Yeah, which I haven't seen his other films. I don't want to speak ill of him because I haven't seen any of his other films, but they're not very well reviewed.
Well, when you say that he wrote the movie like the day after like the event, then I feel like he was really feeling it.
Just stream of consciousness maybe, and just But then like even like technically he definitely has it. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
I also think this is on the nose, but the black and white, I think, again, just speaks to class and the clear just division between, authority, specifically police, and people of the lower class, I suppose.
Yeah, and you could be critical and be
umbrella,
like,
but yeah.
You could be critical and say, "Oh, that's on the nose," but it works so well.
Yeah, I mean, like,
you know what I mean? Like, it's
they have. It's the 90s. It could be in color if the director wanted it to. It's
of course,
no issue. But I think that just. Yeah, it's an extra layer.
It just kind of brings you down to earth.
It also makes the film feel grimier. Like, definitely.
Kind of the poverty and the kind of...
It's very grainy.
Yeah.
There's no color. Like, as in, there's, like, it's lifeless. It's
Yeah, it's not supposed to be fun.
I would say it's cold. It's
Yeah.
There's no color grading or anything, but
it's
there's so much
cold.
life. I was going to say, the banter in this is, like...
Very alive,
bar none. Yeah, it's some of the greatest.
That's the realism.
So
like
there is so much.
I really love the
character
part
in it.
where Hubert's looking out the window and just like looks down at everyone at the playground and the projects, and that was just crazy.
Yeah,
like,
it's just like that. That's it. That's
I don't even know what to say, but that just goes into like this felt so real.
And like all of the like dialogue and stuff. Look, I don't know if he wrote that in the screenplay, but it feels ultra realistic. It's like
dying. So funny.
It's got the cinema verite style of like, let's shoot this and just
act
like
live,
how you act.
Yeah.
And all of the actors' names are their real names.
Oh, really?
Cool.
Yeah, that's just kind of like another layer of kind of the
awesome.
realism.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think this movie has great humor.
Yeah.
I feel like
it's very funny.
humor is
Yeah.
a
I forgot
big
how
part.
funny it was.
Even the even the bathroom scene is funny. It's very funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, bathroom scene's hilarious.
But it's like so profound, and it's also just really funny.
Yeah.
And like when I think about this movie, I don't think about its humor, but like even just watching it with you all, it's like this is really really funny.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of just like crazy lines, and when they go to the friend's like house and whatnot.
That's an amazing scene.
That dude is crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's just it's really funny.
The art museum, like he's a real poet.
Yeah.
And he comes up there and he's like, "You're supposed to be shy." Well, am I? Well, I am.
Yeah.
This is so good.
And then when they're the car break in and like the dude's just like outside.
There's just so many great moments.
He's like, I can drive.
Yeah.
I can drive.
Or he's like, my wife just let me. He's like, "Do you think we care?"
Also, I want to go back to the bathroom scene for just a second.
Yeah.
Because, oh gosh, what's the director's name? Or
It's Mathieu Kassovitz. I don't know how you pronounce this.
Let me give it a stab.
That might be
I'm looking it
way
up.
wrong. I think
Mathieu
the last name is
Kassovitz.
Kassovitz.
Yeah, we'll say Kassovitz. I'm sorry.
It might be Matthew.
He really doesn't. Yeah, Matthew. He really doesn't. It's like Baltimore. He really doesn't spoon feed at all, really. But I will say, he intentionally has both Saeed and then I think it's Vince later when they're looking at the Eiffel Tower, literally like audibly ask, "I wonder what that means."
Yeah.
So he really wants us to think about
Yeah.
that analogy and chew on it a bit because he's trying to hammer it home. And I don't think it's clunky. I think it works, but like
most of the time I would not like that because the director's like, listen to this.
I mean,
like,
but if that happened to
he's
me,
forcing
I would
to-
ask.
Well, yeah, it's realistic and it's also like, I feel like the first time you watch it, you're like, oh, that's kind of profound, but you almost kind of think it's funny. I
Yeah.
think when they bring it back up and it's like, what does God have to do with this? Why? I think that makes you kind of rethink the scene, and it's like, oh, that actually is kind of profound. Like that monologue.
What about that one part where he was like, "I'm going to turn the Eiffel Tower off," and then they like walk away from it and it turns off?
Yeah.
That surely has to be something about it.
Yeah, I don't know. There's still a lot.
I didn't. I never picked up on that.
I've struggled
I thought that was
with-
just a comedic bit.
It could have been.
I've struggled with the cow because that could also be a comedic bit, but that definitely means something. I think that represents kind of I think it's a symbol for their escape.
Well, he like ran into the cow. And
Yeah.
then he keeps being like haunted by the cow. But
well,
then,
he sees the cow, and I think that's him.
Nobody
like,
else really cares about it though.
Yeah, but I
Yeah.
think that's him. Like he's wanting escape, but then like Saeed like kind of pulls him away, and they turn their backs and
Well,
walk.
see, I think when I was thinking about the analogy when he's talking about the guy running and then pulling, like he's running and reaching out, but then his pants fall down.
Yeah.
Like, and it's a repetitive process. I was wondering what that equates to, as far as like the director's perspective.
I think that's the kind of
Because that would imply
distinction and dichotomy between the classes, because the guy that's in the stall is on the train and he's upper class, and the guy that can't make it to the train is kind of lower class.
But that would imply that the guy who's scared to go to the bathroom amongst other people is doing something wrong and needs to fix it himself. And I don't think that's...
Well, the guy.
No,
who, like,
director's
I don't
saying.
read it
kinda-
as that, but that's a good
I
point.
feel like I
mean,
don't know. I feel like the guy was too scared to go to the bathroom. Like maybe he like did it to himself.
Exactly.
almost.
No, that's exactly what I'm saying. But I don't think that's what
Yeah.
the director's saying. He's not condemning people for being born into poverty.
Yeah.
No, if
He's-
that's
and
what
he's-
that
he's not
analogy
saying-
is. That's
he's not
not
saying-
reading of the.
he's
I'm
not
not sure
saying-
if that's what that scene means. I know that's not what he would say.
Yeah. And he's not saying fix it. That's not...
No,
yeah.
of course not.
But I just wonder, because with the pants falling down, it just feels like the guy's making a mistake that he's not recognizing. And that
That's
something
true.
needs to be fixed. I don't know. Maybe I'm reading... but
No, and I mean that's fair. Yeah, I don't know.
I just...
That scene, it's very challenging, and
Yeah.
it's something that you have to sit with.
No, maybe that's what he believes, the guy telling the story, but I don't think that aligns with the
idea of the movie.
the ideals of the...
Well, it's
of
also
the movie,
like
yeah.
that could. I mean, it could be an unreliable narrator, where the guy on the train doesn't exactly know. He doesn't exactly remember it correctly, or he's kind of exaggerating. Which I don't think that would be the
Or, I
case,
mean,
because
if-
I don't know what the point of
If
having
the
that scene
director
would
was
be.
pacifist, Well, no, I don't. I was gonna say maybe he's saying that like violence and protest are what is keeping like people in poverty and change, but that doesn't make a single bit of sense because
No.
this. Okay, I wanted to say this, and this is like this film is a piece of protest in itself. Like it is countercultural. It's unapologetic, and so I feel like the train story, I don't think it can be read in a sense that it's demanding pacifism from people.
No. Speaking of the kind of people who are outraged, I think I was reading about. I might have this wrong, so I don't trust me on this. But I was reading about while we were watching. I was reading a little bit about the background of it, and it won. I think he won. Kassovitz won Best Director at Cannes in '95, and the like guard or the police, whoever's there, like to kind of keep safety at the place, like walked out, like they turned their backs and walked out.
That's
like,
crazy.
There was obviously a lot. Apparently, there was a lot of anger within like the police in France at that time in response to the movie.
I'm sure.
Which makes sense. That's that's like he did what he was trying to do.
Yeah.
You know, that's I think that's really telling.
This movie does a great job of balancing the profound and the comedic, but the one moment in the movie that takes up a decent amount of time that I feel like was just nothing but comedic was Asterisk.
Yeah. The dude.
The crazy dude in the apartment.
Yeah.
Yeah, the dude in the apartment.
Towel around his waist.
Yes. With the coke and the nunchucks.
Just his name being Asterisk?
Yeah.
What?
Didn't they get his name wrong though?
Well, they say Asterisk, I think.
Yeah, they do, but
I don't know if that's right. That's not his actual name. I think that's like.
Oh no, there's no.
That's what he goes by,
Yeah.
and I think that's what we're supposed to assume.
It made me think about the end of Boogie Nights. I know neither of y'all have seen Boogie Nights, but
no.
Go
ahead.
that.
No.
I can't talk about it. Y'all haven't seen it.
If it's a spoiler, no.
It's a spoiler.
Because I'd want to watch it.
Yeah.
I'm going to. No, I thought the first time. I mean, it's still good, but the first time I watched that, I was like, dude, what is he doing?
Yeah.
Like, and it's like, oh, he removed the bullets. That's funny.
Oh, also, I want to. Man, I wish I took notes because there were several lines where I was like, "Oh, that was so good."
I love when they kind of crash the party after they're talking to the girls, and they run out, and the dude's like, "The melees of the ghetto" or whatever. And it's like, that's stuff like that is what makes it really stand out to me.
Mm-hmm.
I love the world is ours. The changing of that,
excellent.
That's very telling. Obviously the mirror shot at the beginning when he's pointing his hands up with the gun.
Yeah.
That's like one of the most famous shots ever.
Mm-hmm.
And like just how they did that and
Really cool.
Yeah. Oh, I was wondering how that was executed.
it's amazing.
Like,
I think,
same.
I think there's videos of it. I think it's a double.
That would make sense.
Could be wrong because mirror scenes they do them differently. For each movie. But there's YouTube videos on it. I think it's a double though.
Cool.
But that's an amazing shot. And you see that again in the kind of dream it's not really a dream, but like what he's imagining is happening when the dude blows through the windows.
Yeah.
It's like that's kind of the image of the movie.
That got me for a second. I thought that was about to happen.
Oh, it did me
Yeah.
too. First I watched it, I was like
I think it's
Same.
also
like what?
it's about individuals versus institution.
Yeah.
And Hubert and their friend that's a cop, they both sort of push the notion about like good cops, while Vince is completely like a good cop is there is no good cop.
Yeah. And I love that like I love that those characteristics are baked into the characters because it leads to a lot of interpretations and room for discussion and philosophy, stuff like that.
Also, something I picked up this time was when Vince is in the theater and then he's smoking, and there's a kid next to him,
Yeah.
and the kid pretends to smoke.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then
that
Vince
was
makes
amazing.
like
That
a
was so good.
handgun or a finger gun, I guess,
Yeah.
and the kid does the same.
Yep. Like that's.
Yeah.
I mean that's really good.
Yeah, that man,
Like,
that was
interesting.
crazy.
Yeah,
certainly.
and stuff like that is really good, kind of visual storytelling,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean, there's so much subtext to the movie, but I actually just made a Letterboxd list. I've been making a bunch of top 10 lists, and this was on my top 10 plots. It was number 1, which I'm not sure if it'll still be number 1 after. But I think like
top 10 plots.
Yeah, just like not screenplays, but just kind of invested in what happens. I think this time watching it, I was more like, this is more cinema verite, so there's not as much of a plot.
I mean,
But
I do think it is very succinct.
I just always think of the ending and just how that wraps everything together.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the more I think about it, it's really hard to think about anything that's wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You definitely got to sit with it, though.
Yeah, you gotta sit for a while, but it's just...
Most movies you got to sit with, but this is definitely one of those.
It's tight, it's real, it's engaging, you know?
I love the runtime. You know,
Yeah, it's perfect.
It's a quick 90 minutes.
Yeah. Part of the reason I recommended it for this one.
Yeah. No, that's, yeah. We could have watched Gene Dealman, but, you know.
I mean, if we decided to do Fair Play, we would still be watching the movie right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oof. I don't know what to say to that.
I was thinking
But
as like a sequel. You make the sequel to Fair Play called Trick Play.
I thought you were talking about the sequel to...
yeah, I was like, I don't think there could.
No,
I don't
no,
think you could
no,
really get.
No, the Fair Play sequel. We haven't even seen the first one yet, but the Fair Play sequel is called Trick Play, and it's just about a guy catfishing his boss.
Mm-hmm. That's just the rom-com set it up.
Dude, I'm telling you, man. I can already see the subtext in Fair Play about the dynamics in relationships and the kind of work-life balance that you have. I mean, come on, man. Yeah. That's probably a masterpiece.
It probably is. We just did the episode right there.
Anyone out there?
Seen
Go watch
Fair
Fair Play on Netflix. It's
Yeah.
streaming right now.
Yeah.
We are not being endorsed by the movie or whoever produced it, but go watch it.
I am on the producers of Fair Play. I'm on their payroll, so
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's
They
all we
pay.
have.
I was actually the director.
Quick shout out. Yeah.
guys, go check out my new film Fair Play.
It's a little titillating.
Yeah.
I am that. What's the actor's name?
I star alongside my co-star,
What's his name?
Alden Ehrenreich?
Yeah, Alden.
Britney Spears.
I don't know how you say his name, but yeah.
Yeah, I
that's
don't
who
remember
it is.
saying his name.
Yeah, I don't know who the girl is. We're like really getting off track here. I don't know.
That's
if
okay.
there's-
Well, much like Le Haine.
4.5.
We're kind of
4
like
and a half.
The rating
We're-
came out.
we're
4.5 is fair.
yeah. Give me some time. Give me some time.
Yeah.
Much like Le Haine, we are also three bros chatting it up and hanging it
In a hot tub.
That's right.
Hmm?
What?
hot. What?
So fine, never mind.
Okay.
Although we do not have hate,
Or it's 2. Yeah.
Yeah.
because that is what the movie
Hate's
translates
cringe.
to.
Yeah.
Hate.
Mm-hmm.
Little on the nose, but I still like it.
That's
I
pretty
like how
cool.
plain it is. I like that it's on the nose.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's
It
very.
fits the style.
It's very. Boom.
Yep. Mhm.
Yep.
It's black and white.
It's very succinct. Oh,
Yeah.
Woohoo! Tied it
MJ.
back.
What?
Michael Jackson.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Great song.
We need to end this, but I was thinking.
Also-
I was singing "Human Nature" to myself today. So good.
Yeah.
That is a great song.
Mm-hmm.
Any more thoughts? We're gonna let the people leave.
No. Stay
Go
here
about their
forever.
days.
I think we did good.
Yeah.
We did a good job.
We're
Hope
getting
you're proud of me, Mom.
We're getting snowed in. You may as
yeah,
well stay
next,
with us.
Yeah, we
Hashtag
What?
What's the Gordon Levitt guy?
Joseph
Gordon-Levitt.
Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah, yes. Hashtag Snowden. we're not hashtagging in 2023.
we're gonna have a
Snowden episode.
We're gonna have a
dropping
snow
next.
We
movie
should do
marathon.
Snowden.
We're gonna have a snow movie.
We're gonna have
marathon.
a Joseph Gordon-Levitt marathon.
That movie is Snowden's an interesting movie.
And we're just
I've
gonna watch
not
Dark
seen
Knight
it.
Rises.
have y'all seen Snowden?
No, I'm
No.
not.
I have.
Is it good?
I don't really want to.
It's okay.
I've heard it's fine. Yeah,
It's fine.
No, but because of the snow coming your way, Gene Dealman, Andre Rublev. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. The Shining.
We're
Getting snowed in.
Hey,
could be The Shining.
Hey,
The Shining.
hey. No, what's up next?
I don't know.
What are
We're
the
going out of
listeners
order.
need to be excited
we have
for?
We do-
abandoned the schedule.
Yeah,
Well,
I
we do have one episode on the sketch, which is Memories of Murder.
Oh, we also
yeah,
have
yeah,
another
yeah,
one
yeah,
on the
yeah,
sketch,
yeah.
which is
That's-
coming out on Friday.
Wait, what?
It's Jonathan Glazer.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
well,
yeah.
like recording date TBA, but like,
Yeah, we're probably gonna go see it Friday.
yeah.
Next-
Are you
next-
free, Jacob?
Next two movies, Zone of Interest and
Let's go!
Yeah.
next two movies.
Jonathan Glazer.
Next two movies, Zone of Interest and Memories of Murder.
And then Fred too.
I
And then
know,
for two.
I know that both of those are gonna be 10.
And then
I
here-
already know it.
and then here comes the boom.
Oh,
Rise in my watch list.
and then a cure for wellness.
Yeah.
We gotta do a
Hey,
little.
we don't have
Dahan.
the Dane DeHaan poster up.
We
but-
gotta do a little.
Hang
Dahan.
it. Hang it. Fly. Hashtag fly your flag.
Yeah.
No, but we might be doing a little
For-
Shining, Little Women, May December.
Mhm.
Those are some
Yeah.
ideas.
Or you
What?
could DM us requests,
Hey,
Ooh.
Yeah.
that's a good idea.
and we'll shoot them down because we don't care.
Because we hate you.
yeah, we don't care.
We don't.
We
don't.
only do art house, so don't send
Yeah.
in anything that's not very pretentious.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sorry, that's lowbrow.
Yeah, I think we're just.
It's not art.
I think we're just rambling.
Wait, hold on, hold on.
I think
Before-
we're really
hold
just
on.
rambling.
We're rambling, but
No, we should. No, you know how we should end.
No,
each episodes.
Mm.
We should give like our favorite like art house movie or something. I don't know.
sure. I don't know. I'm gonna run out of art house movies.
Art house
I'm
movie.
gonna-
No.
Art house movie of the week.
No, better one. What is the most pretentious movie you've ever seen?
Saltburn.
You've seen
Okay.
it?
Yes.
Oh, you. Oh, yeah. We're talking.
Yeah, you
about
watched.
yeah,
I
we-
mean, yeah, he just told us the whole plot.
Yeah. I told you the scene.
Most pretentious movie. I mean, probably Gene Dealman. Very obnoxious. Still a great movie. But I don't need to see a lady peeling potatoes for 30 minutes with no cuts.
What about
We'll just put it like that.
what about Breathless? That's pretty pretentious. I feel like.
Yeah, I really like Brother.
I mean,
pretentious.
I really like Breathless, but
Yeah.
I think it's pretty pretentious.
Yeah, I mean it is kind of pretentious. Okay,
I mean, I love Eternal Sunshine. I think the movie's a masterpiece. That movie's so pretentious.
it is. Yeah, It's-
I need to look. I don't have one off the top of my head. People are so bored. We'll cut this.
uh,
Probably not.
Nope.
I'm
I
gonna
mean
say,
you could say 2001's pretentious.
I'm gonna say L'Argent by Bresson.
Oh,
I'm just kidding. Literally.
I
Just,
mean anything like that is kind of pretentious. Yes.
let me look.
I mean I think you could say Maestro. I
You
think
know
a
what?
lot of people have been saying Maestro's pretentious, which is fair. I think.
My show was kind of pretentious.
Yeah.
But I still,
Because I think
still
when you
it's
say
really good.
pretentious, it lacks substance. And I was looking at, like, just because it's
Yeah.
avant-garde, like, I was thinking maybe Blue, but Blue's not pretentious. It's not. No, it's
it's tough.
yeah,
Do you think The Lobster's pretentious?
Yes.
probably.
Yeah.
I think any Lanthimos is gonna be pretentious. Sometimes it works really well though.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like that's just how some directors.
Y'all
work.
go see-
Parasite,
go
maybe
see-
just a tad bit.
A little, yeah. Not as much.
Yeah.
May December was pretentious.
No, it's not. No. Yes, it is. Kind
May
of.
December is pretentious.
But that's just Todd Haynes' style. You know what I mean? Like you could say Tarkovsky's pretentious because he takes his time and he's
Sorry,
slow and
yeah,
stuff.
you can be
You know
pretentious. You're allowed to be pretentious if you're the greatest filmmaker ever.
Y'all
Oh,
go.
yeah,
Y'all go see Poor Things.
yeah, we got
see
to
Poor
watch
Things.
that.
We are off the rails.
Tennis pretentious.
Tenet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Well,
I
yeah.
just looked up at the process.
Gotcha.
It's good. Pretentious.
Cool.
Okay.
All right, folks. Thanks for tuning in.
Go be pretentious. Go bully people for not liking your favorite art house movies. And with that one, we are signing off.
Yay, Saltburn.
Yeah. Someone got to say it. Jacob, you got it.
Roll that outro music.
Let's go.